Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Zinchenko's personal terms have finally been agreed. We heard that yesterday. That was the only thing remaining, and it has finally been agreed. It only took one day, and it's done. So the only thing remaining is a medical, as confirmed by Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein. This was the article from today, and this is what they had to say. Not even just from today, like from the last 5 minutes. Oleksandr Zinchenko to Arsenal. Here we go. Full agreement in place since Friday with Man City for 30 million guaranteed fee. Personal terms also agreed. Zinchenko always been keen on rejoining Arteta. Contract until June 2026, as per David Ornstein. Medical this week. So that is very, very exciting. It's very good to know that when Arsenal wants to do deals quickly, they do it quickly. Like on Thursday, Arsenal wants Zinchenko. Friday, Arsenal transfer done with Zinchenko, like everything agreed with Man City. Saturday, they're looking at personal terms, and as early as Monday, personal terms agreed. The only thing remaining now is a medical. That is very, very good to hear. I literally just finished recording a video talking about how Arsenal could line up with Zinchenko, like in defense, and it's super exciting. I really, really want him to join. I cannot wait to see how he does at Arsenal. Only thing remaining is medical. Surely he will not fail that one. I'd say the deal is 99% done. The other 1% is just the medical, and he will be an Arsenal player very, very soon by the end of the week. The one thing I want to happen is for us to do this as quickly as possible. The medical, I don't know if it's going to be done in back in England or in USA, because I really want him to be in for at least 2 preseason games. We are playing against Orlando City on Wednesday night, and we are playing against Chelsea this weekend, and then Sevilla against Sevilla back at the Emirates for the Emirates Cup. I want him to be in for at least 2 preseason games. I don't know if he's going to be in by Wednesday. I doubt. So maybe you can see him making his debut against Chelsea. That would be interesting against Chelsea over the weekend. But Zinchenko's personal terms have finally been agreed, and he's going to be an Arsenal player very, very soon. Really, we can do deals as quickly as possible when we want. Fabio Vieira, it only took 4 days. Zinchenko, it only took a couple of days as well. Whenever we do transfers with Awar and Pat and all these guys, it usually takes years before we get them. But this time, we are not messing around with the deals. And this is a guy who I cannot wait for him to join Arsenal. The one thing that the personal terms, the one thing that was delaying the personal terms this whole day, I had it was the salary, part of the salary. That is one thing I cannot wait to see how much he gets paid. Doesn't really matter as long as it does well for Arsenal, but that has been obviously a concern for Arsenal over the years. How much we've been paying Ozil, Aubameyang, Lacazette, all these guys. So Zinchenko's salary is something that will be very intriguing. Jesus joined Arsenal, and I think is the most paid player right at Arsenal right now, most paid player. I don't know if Zinchenko is going to be the second, or he's going to like maybe get 100K a week less than all those guys. Because right now we have Bellerin and Torreira, all these guys getting way too money, over 100,000 a week. So where will Zinchenko be? Maybe part of the personal terms as well is which position he's going to play. Have they agreed for him to play as a left back, as a midfielder? And how long will the contract be? Is it going to be 2-3 years? Remember, I talked about Zinchenko the other day, and I said, in terms of his age, he's turning 26. He's literally heading to his prime. This is his prime. He has another very good 5 years ahead of him. He's definitely at his prime. We're not getting him too old, like the way we bought Willian and Peter Cech and all these guys. And you're not getting him too young, like the likes of Tavares and Lokonga. No, he's at the perfect age to play for Arsenal, at the perfect age to help us improve, at the perfect age to basically work with Arteta. He has more experience than most of our players. The likes of Saka, Martinelli, Zinchenko has more experience. He's won Premier League titles. He's won FA Cups. He's won, obviously, Carabao Cups, a lot of them. He's a winner. He's a captain already at his club. He knows what he's doing. This could be a good sign. This is a good signing for me. Yesterday, I did a video on how many positions he can play for Arsenal, and I talked about 6 different positions. That is an asset. If you can get him to work at Arsenal, 6 different positions, you rarely get players like that. I think Saka can play like in almost 20 of them, maybe even as a goalkeeper. But Zinchenko as a left footer can play in 6 different positions for us. That would be very, very good for us. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description. If you're watching on Facebook, the link should be somewhere on the page. So that's the latest from Fabrizio Romano. He says as well, or David Ornstein says, contract will be until June 2026. So that is 4 years. That is until he's around 29 years of age. And medical will be done this week. I'm expecting that to be done by tomorrow. because of that Wednesday fixture. I think we want to get him in for at least 2 games in preseason. Very important, because since he can play 6 different positions for us, and we know we already have the Gabriels, the Salibas, the Tomiases, and all these guys. To try all these different combinations, we have to try them as soon as possible, and we only have 3 more preseason games to try it. When the season starts against Crystal Palace and Leicester, you can't really start trying things. You have to be a bit sure. So hopefully against Chelsea, we can try Zinchenko in midfield, and then against Sevilla at the Emirates Cup, maybe you can try him as a left back. All that. We know he can play both positions, but I'd like to see how he combines with the rest of our players. Remember, a player can do very well at Man City or do very poorly at Man City, and then he comes to your place and it's totally different. You never know. So that's the latest on Zinchenko. Let me see what you guys are saying. I think I've put a poll on YouTube asking, is Zinchenko a starter next season, or is it that just a bench player? So if you're watching on Facebook as well, let me know. Is Zinchenko going to be, or do you want Zinchenko to be 100% a starter, a definite starter in our team, first 11, or do you think it's just going to be part of the squad depth, players who are coming in the second half to help out? What do you think? One says good. Joseph says great, good signing for us from Habib. Excited says Dave. Arsenal, here we go, says one. Good job, says Adebayo. Ashton says Zinchenko's best position is an attacking midfielder. He can do everything, man. He can do literally everything, like left wing, left back. But attacking midfielder, he does play that central role for his country, Ukraine. But before he joined Manchester City, he used to play as an attacking midfielder, but Guardiola converted him to a left back. So I would really want to see his highlights back at his other club when he was 2021 there. He was playing as an attacking midfielder. So he's no stranger to playing in different positions. He's not going to like be shocked if he's playing at left back or left wing. He's not going to be shocked at all. He's used to all that. He's used to captaining his team. He's used to playing in the Premier League, and that is very, very important. You need players who are Premier League experienced. You saw what happened with Pepe. You can sign a player for 100 million. He does very well in the French league, and then he comes to you. It's a whole different story. So at least for Zinchenko, we know that he's played in the Premier League before. The other thing people have been saying is, I've seen all the shots they've been taking. Zinchenko has not even been playing for Man City when Man City don't even have a left back. Cancelo has been playing in that role for Man City. I told you at Man City, even if Salah and Van Dijk and even Messi goes to Man City, you're not guaranteed to start. First of all, the way Guardiola rotates that team, you are not guaranteed to start. Like literally at Man City, you can score a hat-trick today and tomorrow you're sitting on the bench. If I had a team, if you score a hat-trick today, I'm playing you for the next 3 years. I don't even care whatever you do for the next 1 year. You're definitely starting. As long as you scored that hat-trick 3 years ago, you're definitely starting. But for Guardiola's team, even if he scores 6 goals, there's a time Jesus scored like 4 against Watford last season. Next game, bench. De Bruyne, I think, scored 3 goals and like 3 or 4 goals against Wolves last season. The next game, you're not sure that he's going to start. That is Man City for you. So you can't really say because Zinchenko wasn't starting at Man City, he's not a good player. I definitely do not agree with that. There's Cancelo in that role. Cancelo can probably start in every single team in the Premier League and probably in the world. So you can't really judge a player by that. And again, signing players from Man City for us, yes, 20 years ago, we were way ahead of Man City, but let's be realistic right now. We know Man City and Liverpool are way ahead of everyone. So signing a player from Man City or Liverpool, that is an improvement. Even if we go and sign Thiago from Liverpool, that is an improvement on what we have. If we sign Van Dijk for Liverpool, way much of an improvement. If we sign Ederson as the goalkeeper, improvement. If we sign Cancelo, improvement. Even if we go for the experience of Fernandinho, he gives us the leadership we never had. Like all those guys from Man City and Liverpool, those are winners, man. Like if you just look at the last 4 seasons, I think those guys combined, they have like 800 and something points in the Premier League alone. Like even if you put like 6 teams, us, Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham, I don't think we get even near 700. And this guys, just the 2 teams, get to more than 800. So they've been drilled to win. They've been drilled to get 100 points every single season, score 100 goals, concede only 20 goals in a season, have 90% possession every single game, get to the Champions League semi-final, final every single season. Everyone gets to play under Guardiola. Everyone becomes a leader when you're playing alongside De Bruyne and used to play alongside company. So anyone from Man City, I am definitely not going to complain. So Ashton, attacking midfielder, he used to play as an attacking midfielder. And he still can play that position. Tony says, nice one. Paradise says, good job. Same with Philip. Let's see. What about Tielemans? Says Paradise. I will come to him. Habib says, I hope Tielemans is a player to be signed next. Mustafa says, good job. Arsenal team is getting stronger. Yuri Tielemans next. I can tell that when the Arsenal sign Yuri Tielemans is going to be a really good day because all of us have just been talking about this guy the last 2 months straight. Can we get Tielemans? Can we get Tielemans? Zenom says no, as Tierney's backup. So Zenom is not I think he's not thinking that Zinchenko is going to be a starter at Arsenal, just a backup for Tierney. But remember, if you're a backup for Tierney, you could end up playing more games than him because he's injured for 60% of the season. So you're not really Tierney's backup. You're probably going to start more games than Tierney when he's injured. That is the thing with Tierney. When you sign someone to play as a left back at Arsenal, you're signing someone who's going to play as a left back at Arsenal, not as a backup left back. Because I really hope Tierney does recover from his injuries. I mean, someone like a Martinelli did have an injury for like 1.5 years, and he's come back right now and he's perfect. He looks very, very good and fit. Hopefully that could happen to him as well. I mean, the likes of Eduardo, even Ramsey, even Aaron Ramsey is a good example. Like he broke his leg, he was a bit all over the place for 2 to 3 years, but then when he picked up his form, he was great for us for like 4 years consecutively. So hopefully we do see Tierney becoming that kind of player as well. Obviously, you can suffer from injuries. Most of the times, you never really actually recover. Just ask Michael Owen and Joe Cole and those kind of guys. But hopefully, it does, because when Tierney is 100% fit, we have, apart from Robertson, we probably have the best left back in the league. So I really hope he does recover. But if he's not there, then I think he's going to be more than a backup, Zenom. I think he's going to be needed a lot. Victor says, great news. Habib says he will be a starter. Alhaji, how are you? Tielemans is on the way, says Tobin. Paradise says he needs to start. Are we getting Tielemans or Paqueta? We'll talk about that. Zenom says, good signing. We hope we sign Tielemans. Arsenal team is getting stronger. Good signing for us, says Alhaji. Tierney was poor last season. I think this guy will get the better of him. I don't think he was poor. I mean, the injuries is the problem. It's really hard to judge a player with the injuries because there's nothing he can do, really. You can't really prevent injuries. When it happens, it happens. But in terms of performance, I thought when he was playing, he was okay as usual. There's a time at the beginning of the season where Tavares was playing more than Tierney. It was looking like Tierney was going to be dropped and Tavares was going to start ahead of him for the rest of the season. But when Tierney is 100% fit, you have one of the best left backs in the world, man. This guy, the way he goes forward, the way he's very energetic, the way he can defend, you can't really get past him 4 or 5 times in the same game. He rarely has a bad game. That is why when you're doing player ratings the last 2 years, when Tierney is playing, you rarely give him a less than a 7 out of 10. He's always a 7, 8 out of 10. That is great in itself. Only Saka can match those numbers. Usually players have a 4 out of 10 performance, a 2 out of 10 performance, but Tierney, rarely. And he's also a bit disciplined. That is what I like about I like players who are disciplined because we know how much we suffer with red cards. And Tierney and Ben White do not pick up red cards. They do not pick up yellow cards that much. I think you can count maybe on one hand how many yellow cards Tierney picks up. And I know Ben White picked up only 1 yellow card last season. So that is the kind of player I want as well. Disciplined player. And apart from being disciplined, another reason why you don't pick up yellow cards is your positioning. If you're good at positioning, then you're not really going to pick up yellow cards. I do remember Tierney playing against Chelsea and I think it was Brentford at the beginning of last season. I know he was caught out of position a couple of times. That Chelsea game specifically, I think Reece James ripped him apart. But after that, I don't think he was bad. Zavi says, obviously, Zinchenko has ability to bench Xhaka. Yeah, I think I have to agree with that. You've been my source of information. I appreciate it, Musa. Thank you very much. Al-Haji says, Ghana's we move. Let's see, Tillemans next. Abobo says, hello. How are you? Attacking midfield is the best, says Paradise. Big up to Mikel Arteta. We have compliments for Mikel Arteta, and I do. Things are changing in this world, man. Nice one, says Aziz. We should go for Tillemans next, please. Says Abobo. Blazing Gunners. I love what is happening, says George. Good news that we have finally agreed personal terms with Zinchenko and Man City as well. Tillemans and Lucas Paqueta next for Lucky. Another good signing, says George. That's a great signing, says Timothy. As I've always said, any signing from Man City, that's a good signing, man. I don't think you can sign a bad player from Man City. This is not like 15 years ago when they had, I think, Ireland and those kind of guys, Richard Dunn. These guys are well drilled. Vieira played one game out of 38 for Milan. He became our greatest ever midfielder. Yeah, good, very good point. Before Vieira joined Arsenal, he wasn't really known by anyone. And he came to Arsenal and he became a superstar, one of the best captains the Premier League has ever seen. So very good point, Ashton. It doesn't necessarily mean that Zinchenko, if Zinchenko didn't play more than 100 games for City, is not going to do well for us. No, he is. This is good news, says Jimo. We should not miss Tielemans, please. We really need this guy, says Bobo. So I don't think we're going to miss Tielemans to another team. If we miss Tielemans, he's going to stay at Leicester. So I don't think he's going to go to Chelsea or Tottenham and not come to Arsenal. No, if he leaves Leicester, he's definitely going to join Arsenal. That I'm 100% confident. Zinchenko and Tierney should fight for left back, says Cookie. If you fight, I'm so sorry, Tierney, but if you fight for the left back position with Tierney, you're going to injure him. That's the problem. He's so fragile. If you fight for the position with him, that's all it takes to get to injure him. I am really sorry, Tierney. I really wanted to be fit because I really love the guy. 2 seasons ago, he was my best Arsenal player. Thank you, Dennis. We need Tielemans, says Cookie. Man City and Liverpool are way ahead of every team in the EPL. I think we're ahead of every team in the world, maybe apart from Bayern and Real Madrid. But last season I was saying if Man City come across Barcelona, they would score 6 goals on aggregate. I'm not joking. Maybe this season things have changed because they have the likes of Lewandowski. But Liverpool, every time they come across these Napolis, Romas, all these teams, I usually expect them to put 6 or 7 past them. That was not the case 10 years ago. But these days, those guys are so good. Their scouting. Yes, Man City used a lot of money, but Liverpool's scouting is tremendous. Like Robertson from Hull City, all these guys, very good. Thank you, Dennis, watching from Kampala. Good evening, King. Tielemans is taking time now. Why? Talk about him waiting to see Zinchenko playing at the midfield. I'll come to the rest of the comments. So let me show you guys a comparison of Zinchenko, Tierney, and Tavares from last season. I really hope I can get it very soon. Here it is. So this was from Sky Sports. I didn't make this, so credit to Sky Sports. Zinchenko, Tierney, Tavares comparison from last season. So minutes played, Tierney and Tavares played more minutes than Zinchenko. Tierney actually played way more, and it's funny because Tierney was injured for almost half of the season. I don't even know how he ended up playing more minutes than Zinchenko and Tavares. Goals conceded, Tierney conceded 0.99. That's almost 1 goal per game. And Tavares conceded way more than 1 goal per game. So every time Tavares was on the pitch, we were conceding on average more than 1 goal. But Zinchenko at Man City, less than 1 goal. Now, I wouldn't really compare that in terms of goals conceded because he was playing for Man City and these other guys were playing for Arsenal. Let's be honest, Man City have a 90% possession. So before you score a goal against them, you'll have to really work hard. So I'm not going to compare that. But the others, I will. Tackle success. Zinchenko made 6 tackles on average per game. Tierney made 3.65 and Tavares made 5.13. So in terms of tackles, successful tackles, Zinchenko has a better success rate than Tierney and Tavares. Very important because when you're playing against Salah and Mahrez on that side, you have to know how to time your tackles. Otherwise, you're going to be playing with 10 men every single game. You're going to miss challenges. You're going to give the fullbacks chances to cross the ball into your own box. You have to be a very good tackler when you're playing in midfield and fullback. That is the one thing I don't like complimenting Man United players, but that is the one thing Wan-Bissaka is perfect. Like tackles, that can prevent you conceding a chance or a goal. Very important if you're a good tackler. The next thing is interceptions. Another thing that interceptions is the difference between you conceding a goal and you attacking. If you have a good player in midfield and fullback who can intercept the ball and put you straight into the attack and counter attack, you have a great player there. So Zinchenko makes at least 1.21 interceptions per game on average. Tierney only 0.7 and Tavares 0.69. So tackles, interceptions, goals conceded so far, Zinchenko is better than Tierney and Tavares so far. Chances created, another very important role. Alexander-Arnold and Cancelo are a huge difference for those teams. These days, a long time ago, when the fullbacks were Cafu and Maicon and Lauren and all these guys, Paulo Ferreira at Chelsea, all these guys who are playing at all those clubs, you didn't really have to attack that much. I know Maicon and Cafu were attacking a couple of times and Ashley Cole, but you really didn't have to attack. Just ask Lee Dixon back in the 90s. He didn't really have to attack for Arsenal. He was just a fullback. A fullback's position was just a fullback, just defend, not really attack. These days, The goalkeeper has to know how to pass the ball. The striker has to be more than just a striker, just standing on the in the box. And your fullbacks have to know how to attack, because the fullbacks can get you up to 15 goals per season. Like Robertson and Trent, they usually combined for like 30 goals for Liverpool, like in terms of goals and assists. They are a huge reason why Liverpool have climbed up the table the last few years. So if you have a good attack, I think Tierney is a good attacker, but Zinchenko is clearly, in terms of stats, he's better. He was better last season than Tierney and Tavares. I know if you play less minutes, the stats are better for you. So that is another thing we need to realize. Zinchenko played less minutes than these guys. Dribble success, like in terms of dribbles, Zinchenko is way ahead of Tierney. Like dribble successes, like the number of times Zinchenko can get past a player, like it's almost 4 times better than Tierney. I was very surprised reading that. Again, I don't know if it's fair to look at this, because Tierney wasn't really 100% fit, but I don't know, if you're just following the stats and ignoring how fit a player was, that is telling. That is almost 4 times better than Tierney in terms of dribble successes, and he was better than Tavares as well. So literally, goals conceded, tackle successes, interceptions, chances created, successful dribbles, he's better than Tierney and Tavares in all of those aspects. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. So if you look at that, if someone is watching football for the first day today, they would tell you Zinchenko is 100 times better than Tierney and Tavares. I don't think so. Obviously, you don't think so as well. But from the stats, he will be a very, very good player, and he would be an improvement from what we had last season. So I cannot wait for him to join. In addition to that, he can play 6 different positions for Arsenal. You cannot complain about that, man. You cannot complain about that. That Xhaka role in midfield, where Xhaka usually plays as a midfield, and then when Tierney goes forward and then Xhaka covers at left back, Zinchenko can do that flawlessly because he's an actual left back. So if he plays in midfield and Tierney or Tavares or whoever is going to be there pushes forward, Zinchenko can slot in as a left back easily. But if you want to watch that in detail, if you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description, the first link in the description, talking about the 6 positions he can play for Arsenal. Let me get back to your comments. Good evening, Wen. Thanks for the show. Can you please update us on Tielemans? I'm going to come back on that next after reading the comments. Tielemans' transfer is too slow. Says King, any news on Saka's contract? I think we'll give Saka a new contract before the season starts. I'm very confident in that one. And I'm very confident he will sign. Remember what I told you guys. Imagine if Saka is given a contract today and he says no, and then he goes to, for example, a Chelsea. Like every single one of us would hate him. I don't think you'd want that in your career very early on. Yes, you can say maybe if he goes to Man City today, you'd win a title, but the earliest I can see Saka leaving Arsenal is when he's past 25, not now at all. I don't think he's going to leave Arsenal right now. So I think we'll give him enough money, because I think 30,000 or something is getting paid. That is a crime. We are giving Torreira more than 100,000 a week, and we are giving Bellerin more than 100,000 a week, and we are giving Saka 30,000 a week. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, Bellerin is earning almost 4 times more than Saka. That does not make sense at all. That does not make sense at all. Don says, wow. Benny says, good news. We are building depth. Beautiful left attacker, says Benny. Now that the deal is 100%, what's his salary per week? That is what we are going to find out very soon. I think that's the only thing we haven't found out. And obviously, the position is going to play. If I was to guess, I'm going to say around 120,000 a week. Jesus is getting now more than 20,000 a week. I think that puts Jesus at first in terms of salaries at Arsenal. The money that Pepe is earning at Arsenal is way too much for what he's contributing. Same with Bellerin, same with Torreira. So the moment you get rid of all these players in the next 1 year, then we'll have a team. Now we'll have a team that we can sell and get a lot of money for. I don't want us to become a selling club, but you get the point. Like if we sell Mustafi the way we sold him, free. Kolasinac, free. Lacazette, free. Mkhitaryan, free. All these guys, even El Neni, I like El Neni as a personality, but if you are to sell him today, you're not going to get more than 3 million for him, let's be honest. Tavares, you're not going to get more than 10 million. Lokonga, from the performance last season, you can't get more than 10 million. But with a player like Saka and Odegaard and Smith Rowe and Martinelli, all these guys, when you're selling them, you're going to get more than 60 million for all of them. That is a good thing with what you're building right now. Gabriel, when Juventus are talking about 30 million, we are like, what? 30 million for Gabriel? You are crazy. Gandit News, how are you, my hair? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Abasede says Tillemans next. We really need him. Congratulations to Arsenal for signing one of Arsenal fans, Zinchenko. That is true. I saw him in an Arsenal shirt years ago. Not me personally, but I saw a picture of him wearing an Arsenal shirt from back in the days. That is usually interesting. Like, how the hell do people find this? And whenever a player is signing for you, I know they usually have to do these interviews where Zinchenko will say, I've always been an Arsenal fan since I was a kid. When Fabio Vieira joined Arsenal, he said, I always loved Arsenal. That is always like PR. Everyone usually says that. But when he's wearing an Arsenal fan, it's more an Arsenal shirt, that it's more believable. Speaking of Arsenal shirts, have you guys seen the Arsenal shirt from today? My goodness, I am not going to buy one. I'm going to buy 3 of those because that looks very, very good. That shirt, let me know, Arsenal's away shirt. What are you rating it out of 10? And is that better than their home kit from this season? I absolutely love that away kit, man. That kit deserves 19 away wins next season. But even if we go to Man City and lose 5-0 with that away kit, at least we looked, we had some swag losing 5-0. Daughter says Tillemans is what we need, please. I just need Yuri Deal updates his page. I'm watching from Liberia. Appreciate you, Mano. We need Tillemans and 2 other midfielders plus Tony, a very realistic striker we can get. Wow, that's a lot of players by here. That's a lot of players. I think we'll only get Zinchenko and then a midfielder and a winger maybe after that. And maybe one player on loan. I don't know which position, but we'll probably get players on loan. I mean, Odegaard's loan spell at Arsenal worked. He was signed on loan and he came as a permanent player. Before Odegaard, I was never a fan of loan spells. Like, remember Benayoun? Remember Denis Suarez? I do not like players on loan because you fall in love with them and they're going to leave you tomorrow, or they come and they waste your time there and they're not going to be there next season. So it's a matter of doing useless stuff if you're trying to build a team around them. I don't like players on loan, but you could do that. Tony is realistic, but I think there's a couple that are more realistic than him. Someone like Timo Pukki, even though he was relegated twice, he still did well at Norwich. And as a backup striker, I would get him, and Trossard as well, because I think they're going to be around 20, 25 million. And I think Tony would be like 40 million. But if you get Tony, that would be great. But I don't think we'll get a striker. I think they are happy with Nketiah and Jesus. And I mean, looking at the last 4 or 5 months, I guess Nketiah deserves a chance. Let's see how he does in a full season. I was really impressed with him against Nuremberg, so let's just see how he does. I don't think we'll sign another striker, maybe on loan. Clement says, beautiful. Musa says, Sane on your mind. At least it's not in your heart. So at least it's not in your heart, because I don't think he's going to join us. As I said, if Sane joins Arsenal, we are going to throw a party over here, man. Arsenal will move. Good news, says Kabiru. No, Paqueta for 60 million is too much. So I heard that Lyon could be willing to accept like 40 million. That's from what I heard today. If they do that, that is something. Personally, to agree with you as well, on the other point, I would try and get at least 2 midfielders as well. That is what I would prefer. I don't think we need a striker, says King, because we are good in Nketiah and Jesus, so we only need a midfielder. I think midfielders, more than one, King. Great signing with great versatility, says Daniel. We are going somewhere this season, says John. I mean, with the good transfer we had last time, and you add another good transfer this time, and you add another good transfer in January and next season, then you're definitely building something. But in the process of doing that, you also have to keep your better players. The likes of Saka and Odegaard, we cannot afford to lose them. Tillemans and Paqueta next, says Jimmy. Good news, says Kabiru. Joshua from Uganda, Zinchenko is just a nice move for us. Big up, guys. I'm so happy to hear that. So it's now Tillemans from Uganda. Thank you, Manu. Deshi, congratulations. And then most of the comments are just Tillemans. And I cannot blame you. I would get Tillemans as well. If I was to go in the chat right now, I'd say Tillemans as well. I can say that right now. I want Tillemans. I want Tillemans as well. He's a very, very good player. Charles says Arsenal for life. Absolutely. Up the Ghana says Adetona. Zinchenko should be assisting Granit Xhaka. Also, who should be assisting who? Should Zinchenko be assisting Granit Xhaka or Xhaka assisting Zinchenko? Daniel says, Glenn, at least we are moving to a good direction as Arsenal. Thanks a lot. So most of the people seem to be happy. No, we are not 100% happy, because personally, I would still have gotten a backup striker. Personally, I've still gotten 2 midfielders. My ideal transfer window was get Jesus in, get someone like a Pookie in, get Tillemans in. That would have been the first guy I would have gotten. Then get another central midfielder, someone like a Milinkovic-Savic, and then you get a backup left back or something. That would have been a perfect transfer window for me. We signed someone like a Fabio Vieira, an attacking midfielder. That was a surprise. I didn't expect us to do that. And signing a winger would also be a surprise. I didn't think we really needed a winger because Saka and Martinelli have been great. I would have loved if we go for Zaha. Zaha, they would ask for 80 million. Are you ready to pay 80 million for Zaha? Perfect job for Edu, says Abby. Congratulations, says Bello. Jesus is better than Nunes for Liverpool. Who? Who is Nunes? Sorry, Manuel, I don't know who Nunes is. Jesus is the best number 9 in the world. Please tell me who Nunes is. I hope I don't say that and then he scores a hat-trick against us. Oh, goodness me. You know how Liverpool is at Anfield. I really hope that doesn't happen. Signing of the summer, says Muwonge. Good evening, says Remipa. Congrats. Let's Arsenal do something different this coming season. The one thing that I want us to do is to win that Europa League. Arsenal should get what? Your name? Bruh. What? Bruh. What? Arsenal should get Higuain and Lukaku. What? Higuain and I wouldn't mind Lukaku at Arsenal, by the way. I still think you do better, great in the Premier League, but the way he did last season, you don't really want to sign a flop like that. Higuain, 15 years too late, man. 15 years, not 4 or 5 years. 15 years too late to sign Higuain. We should use Zinchenko at our left back because Tin is an injury-prone player. This is my happiness. I'm going to sleep well tonight, says Emmanuel. Emmanuel is a happy guy, man. And Jesus will work well. I see him scoring more goals than Kane and Nunes. I see him scoring at least 15 goals in the Premier League, in all competitions at least 20, because he's going to get the chances. You have Saka on the right, you have Marquinhos now, you have Odegaard and Fabio Vieira, you have Martinelli, you have Smith Rowe as well, delivering all the chances. Tierney, if he's fit, Zinchenko now. He's going to get the chances and he's going to score the goals. He gives you way more than Lacazette did like the last 2 seasons. Lacazette, when he was joining Arsenal, he was very good, but at the end of his Arsenal career, he really couldn't give you too much apart from holding up the ball and a bit of leadership. Jesus can run in behind a player. He can assist, he can score goals, he can use his left foot, his right foot. You need all that. I prefer you should use Zinchenko in our left back because Tien is an injury-prone player. I read that one. After Zinchenko, we should go for Paqueta and Sane, maybe a backup striker. Cookie says Tielemans and Neves would be such a brilliant partnership. Tevez, again, 10 years later, I would have loved Tevez 10 years ago. Neves would be a really good guy, man. Like the way he shoots the ball, his free kicks and all that would be great. But I don't know. He seems to be just want to stay with his Portuguese guys. But we can attract him. We have a lot of Portuguese and Brazilian players at Arsenal. That would be a great midfield. But I think we need someone who can attack a lot. So someone like a Paqueta or Milinkovic-Savic. That is what I want. Someone, the way we saw Xhaka playing the other day against, which team did we play? Everton. Xhaka will be okay for you. Xhaka is just okay, but okay is not enough for top 4 and all that. So you need someone who's better than okay. And I think the likes of Milinkovic-Savic and Paqueta would be more than okay. Very best to him. I mean, in that position, Cookie, you're playing against players like De Bruyne, players who are lethal midfielders, attacking midfielders. So you need someone who's going to be really good. But yeah, of course, we already have Partey as well. All the very best to him. Still need real number 9 and winger. We already have a real number 9, Mustafa. We already have a real number 9. Please respect our guy. Please respect our guy. We already have a real number 9. Please respect Jesus. We all need Jesus in our life and he's here to save us. Let's see. This player is very good. The comment has just disappeared, but Tahir says this player is very good addition to the team. I can't wait to see him in our colors. We hope for the new signings. Zinchenko was on 25k a week at City, says Ashton. That's very little money, man. But let me tell you, if you're to tell me to play for Man City if I was a player, I would take as little as just lunch and dinner from them because you're guaranteed trophies. You're guaranteed to learn a lot from Pep Guardiola. 25k a week. I'm hoping we've changed our model, because our model was always give Ozil 350,000 a week, give Aubameyang 300k a week, give Lacazette 200 and something. It seems we've been changing that, but remember we've signed Jesus and he's getting more than 200 a week. So if Zinchenko is on less than 100k a week, I'll know Arsenal have changed their model. If we sign Zinchenko and you give him 80,000 a week, I will know we have changed our ways and we're not overpaying for players. But do I think it's worth 100,000 a week? Yes. I'm hoping we didn't attract him because of money, because if he ends up getting 200,000 a week, that is 8 times more than what you've just said, Ashton. That would be a bit of a concern. Power says Burnley should try to get Saka since we have more ambitions than Arsenal and we are better than you at the moment, unfortunately for Arsenal fans. Power, get a playing style first and then we can talk. Good joke, I guess. Good joke, I guess. At least we did draw with us last season. So knock yourself out. Just make sure you don't end up in League One. Paul says, yes, it's good. Ateta. Cookie says, Arsenal away kit is brilliant. Best kit so far from us. We really need someone in the midfield. Update us on Tielemans. Seen a leaked third kit and it looked decent too. It was pink. I'm not a lot of people would be okay with pink jerseys, but I definitely prefer the black one, man. I definitely prefer that one. Now, waiting for Tielemans' deal now to be wrapped. Ali says Zinchenko. Good news, says Vincent. Sané will be a perfect replacement for Pepe if he leaves. I think it would be more than perfect, man. Like, we don't want to go on players too much, but Pepe's time at Arsenal hasn't been good. Let's be honest, it hasn't been great at all. I think it starts in midfield, but his depth at left back. I don't know if you guys say this already. I just joined this stream. I think it starts in the midfield, but depth is depth at left back. So you think he's a definite starter in midfield, but he can also act as a backup at left back. Makes sense, Alex. We didn't really talk about that that way. Charles says Arsenal for life. I want Tielemans. That is me. I want Tielemans. Nice one to Ateta, says Olatunji. We need him in we need him, says a war. A war. It's not a war, it's a war, right? Great signing, says Ever Cool. Good one, says Banger. Arsenal should sign a left back too. Oh, we just signed a left back, by the way, Chilo. We might still end up signing Grimaldo. So if we sign another left back, then I'm definitely convinced that Zinchenko will fill in at midfield. That's another reason I think we'll definitely keep Cedric at Arsenal, because he can play as a left back as well. And I don't think Cedric is a disaster. He's not a Lauren or an Ashley Cole, but he's not a disaster. I prefer Paqueta alongside Tielemans is king. Good one, says Barkley. Nice. How far Alexander deal reached? He'll probably be an Arsenal player by Wednesday. I really want us to get him in because of those friendly matches. I really want him to play in at least 2 friendly matches before the season starts. At least we're getting him early. This has been a different Arsenal transfer window. We are getting in players very, very early, man. We've gotten like 5 signings before the end of July. That is unheard of at Arsenal. We are happy now, says Adesina. That's great news, says Philip. Jesus and Zinchenko are big achievers in the league already. By the way, who knew we'd get 2 players from Man City, man? That is crazy. I must commend the Arsenal management for convincing such players despite us having lost out on Champions League last season. That is a very good point. I did not think we were going to attract players from that. Even if he's worked with that stuff before, they can easily say, nah. I'd rather go to Chelsea. I'd rather go to Real Madrid, not Arsenal right now. They could easily say that, but he's accepted to join Arsenal. I even don't think we are 100% guaranteeing him first team football. That's another thing we need to know. But he still managed to convince him to join Arsenal, and Jesus as well. We've managed to convince him to join Arsenal as well, which is quite good. And Jesus 2 games has already done well for us, and you can see the difference. Even if you watch those friendly matches for two minutes, you can tell Jesus was playing at Man City. You can tell they were training differently there. You can tell their mentality is different. Hopefully it spreads to the rest of the team. Thanks so much, says Dennis. I'm happy. Wishing you live from Abuja. Thank you, Jacob. Tielemans is a nice one too, because he already has a Premier League experience. I mean, we've talked about Tielemans so much, we might as well just talk about him. I mean, I saw an update like an hour ago on Twitter saying Tielemans, right, it was from Eduardo, I think. They said Tielemans, close people to Tielemans have said that Tielemans just said he wants to join Arsenal and is hoping that Arsenal and Leicester agree. There's no way, as I keep on saying, there's no way you can agree personal terms with him. Agree all those. In fact, personal terms, like in terms of salary and the fee with the other club, that is usually the hardest thing to do. And we've agreed personal terms with him. He already knows how much is going to be paid at Arsenal. Mentally, he's already an Arsenal player. It's just the fee that we need to pay. The only thing you can think of that could be delaying is either some disagreement between Arsenal and Leicester, or Arsenal have a better player. I don't know which one, because I think Tielemans is a very good player. Unless Arsenal have a way better player in their head that is better than Tielemans, or Tielemans has something like an injury that we don't know about and they're waiting to see. Those are the only things I could think about. And I don't think Tielemans is an injury-prone player, but those are the only things I could think about. But as I said, I'm still 75% confident that he will be an Arsenal player. We wanted him to join in June, but if he still ends up joining before the season starts, great. But in a crucial position like that, would have wanted him to get him in as early as possible. But hey, we just have to wait and see, man. We just have to wait and see. Hopefully, he does join us. But in terms of the updates from 1 hour ago, I did see that his close entourage say that Tielemans is waiting to join Arsenal. I've never seen so many updates about a player begging to join Arsenal and he's not joined us yet. I just don't understand, man. Because right now, if we sign Tielemans right now, our window is like 8 out of 10. And then if you throw in a packet of Milinkovic-Savic, we are talking about 9 out of 10 transfer window. And if you throw in a backup striker, that's 10 out of 10. That's the transfer window. Do you think Arsenal should get Dani Ceballos? Maybe a soft deal with Odegaard for Dani Ceballos at Real Madrid. Sorry, who? I've never heard of him before. Doe says, see you soon. Doe, no problem. Doe, what about Sane? Says Benga. Which team do you support, Doe? He's at Nottingham Forest. It is, right? I think that is a Nottingham Forest shirt. See you very soon, man. See you very soon. The last 2 times we've played against you, you've absolutely hammered us. Hopefully it doesn't happen again this time. We have Jesus, Mohamed, and Gabriel. People are in trouble, man. Pray for those guys. Pray for the rest of the Premier League. Let's see. I'll be ending this soon. I need to do another video on Zinchenko. But again, if you're watching on YouTube, the first link in the description is a video talking about the 6 positions Zinchenko can play for Arsenal. Make sure to check that out. I break down every single role he can play, and the more I was talking in that video, I was smiling more and more because I couldn't believe like this is a player that we are signing. That video is also on Facebook in case you haven't checked it out. Great signing. I'm amazed, says Michael. Top 4 should be a must for Arsenal. We all want Tielemans. Now, if we do get the 2-3 signings you're talking about, then top 4 is a must. You can even end up getting better, but the other teams are improving as well. I mean, Chelsea have signed Koulibaly. I'm not sure how long Koulibaly will help them for because I think he's 32, but either way, it's still a good signing defensively. Sterling is a very good signing for them. So you can argue, because I think Man City will still win the league. So you can say that is one position gone. You can say Chelsea will get top 4 as well. So if we get top 4 ahead of Man United and Tottenham and send Tottenham back to where they belong, that would be great, man. We all want Tielemans, says above. I mean, who has had a better transfer window between us and Tottenham? Because Tottenham have signed a backup goalkeeper in Fraser Forster, Perisic, Richarlison. Would you argue that Fabio Vieira, Jesus, and Zinchenko are better than those guys? I would. I actually would. I didn't think we were going to sign better players than Tottenham, especially when they got to Champions League. I knew all these players, they would go to Tottenham. But I mean, Bissouma is a great buy. That one you should have gotten him. But that shows you that Champions League is very important. We already know that. But I really did not think we were going to get better players than Tottenham. But we kind of are. So I think the reason is because at 10 I do have tried to keep this transfer secret, and it does help because the moment you say you're linked to a player and the player is available, then these guys could come in and hijack the deal. Which is Arsenal's next match? Orlando City, Wednesday night, heading into Thursday morning, just the same time as we had the other game the other day on Saturday night. This one will be Wednesday night against Orlando City, and I think we'll be wearing that black kit for the first time. Ibrahim says good news. Orlando City is the team that Kaka and Nani used to play for. Emmanuel says this season you have to go with some things in the pocket. Tell them Man United, where are you? Good day, my lovely brother. You're doing well. Thank you, Banger. And Tielemans, we want not... Oh, come on, Dad. We're just having fun and you're spoiling the mood. Come on. Tillemans, we want not this Zinchenko. Come on, man. Come on. Really? We're just having fun and then you're ruining the mood. Stop blaming our players likes of Xhaka, Tierney, Tomiyasu. We depended on them last season. We depended on Xhaka? Really? Did we really depend on Tierney and Tomiyasu when they were out for 80% of the season? Come on, Daba. Now we are lying to each other. Come on, we are lying to each other. Last season, we are depending on Saka. Yes. We were depending on Ramsdale. Yes. We are depending on Gabriel. Yes. Were we depending on Tierney? Definitely not. He was injured for half of the season. Tomiyasu, no. He was injured for half of the season. Xhaka, no. He was suspended for half of the season. Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest with each other. Zinchenko, we condemn them. No. We're not talking badly about Xhaka, Tierney, and Tomiyasu because Zinchenko's joined Arsenal. I just said on this stream that Tierney is a very good player. I'm not going to say Zinchenko is a better player than Tierney just because. But in terms of that, Daba, I'll just put for you this on screen and then tell me between Zinchenko and Tierney who was better last season. I'll give you 10 seconds to look at it. Goals conceded, less than Tierney and Tavares. Tackle success, better than Tierney and Tavares. Interceptions, better than Tierney and Tavares. Chances created, better than Tierney and Tavares. Dribble success, better than Tierney and Tavares. Those are facts. But I said I am not saying that Tierney is a useless player. I just said Tierney, when Tierney is fit, he's definitely starting for Arsenal. When Xhaka and Zinchenko are put in the same team, I would start in Zinchenko. You need to try something new. We've been too nice for too long, but we've been too nice for too long. This guy's bringing winning mentality. He's playing 7-8 different positions for us. Tillemans would play 2, so I don't think that is a fair comparison anyway. But hey, I hope he proves you wrong. I hope he proves you wrong. I know he will. Alex says good news for us. I mean, we're signing players from Man City and people are not happy. Like, who are we supposed to sign? Mbappe and Haaland? I saw people talking about that the other day and I was like, really? Like, Arsenal are signing Jesus is not enough. What are you talking about? Is he an improvement from what we had last season? The answer is yes. Great, let's go. If he's an improvement for what we had last season, that means we can finish 4th instead of 5th. We are not moving from 16th to 4th with one signing, but that one signing could be the difference. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you need the likes of Mbappe to be happy, but you're not on that level yet. We have to be realistic and improve slowly. And Jesus improves our team, and Zinchenko improves our team. Shonga says we are back in the league. Jesus will work well. I see him scoring more goals than Kane and Nunes. I feel like Zinchenko might overtake Tierney considering how good he is and Tierney's injuries. I mean, Ramani, according to other people, we don't need this guy called Zinchenko, man. Who is he? Frederick says we are going to win the league. I wish, man. Just imagine us all winning the league. Edris says just trust the process, says Edris. Jesus, I prefer calling it a project. Jesus, Mohammed, and Angel Gabriel. My lovely club forever, says Said. Good news. I've gotten through like 300 comments. Someone asks, why do you read all the comments? Interesting. Why do I read all the comments? I'll give you one reason, because all of you guys are reading these comments. You don't really have to be here watching this show. So I 100% appreciate it. That's why I always read all the comments. I know a lot of people don't do that. I know a lot of channels don't even reply to comments, but that is the one thing I said since starting these channels and pages. You have to reply to comments, because those people who are commenting on your videos, they don't have to comment on your videos and don't comment to on your content. So I know a lot of channels don't like, I don't even like comments and stuff. So that is why I read all the comments, because you don't really have to be here watching. There's a lot of very good channels on YouTube and other good pages on Facebook and Twitter and all that. So that's the one thing, community first. That's the one thing that people need to understand about YouTube and content creation. Community always comes first. Just says thanks, but how far with Yuri? I've talked about him. I'm still 70% confident that he will join. Ibrahim says, please, what about Leno transfer? Please, I'm still waiting for Fulham to give us that 11 million and then he'll be off. Even if he doesn't go to Fulham, I still expect another team to come in for him, maybe at the beginning after the season has already started. I mean, Emmanuel says, I can't hear you, volume, please. Really? No one else has complained, Emmanuel. I'll test that right now. I'll see. David says Zinchenko walks into this team. I just want to see which shirt number Zinchenko will wear. Probably somewhere between, I don't know if this helps, but somewhere between 10 and 40. I just want to see how about Savic of Lazio. That would be a lot of money. Alex says 420 million spent under Arteta, and we are worse than when he took over. Really, Alex? Really? Arteta should be going for the title with this money spent. Really, Alex? Really? I'm not going to jump into that conversation. But in terms of squad, we know we are lying to each other. When Arteta took over in the squad we have right now, as I've just said, if you are to sell Odegaard, you'd get 60 million. If you are to sell Saka, you'd get 100 million. If you are to sell Smith Rowe, you'd get 80 million. If you are to sell Tomiyasu, you'd get 30 to 40 million. If you are to sell Gabriel, you'd get 60 million. If you are to sell Ramsdale, you'd get 50 million. The players that Arteta got here, Mustafi, you wouldn't get a penny. Socrates, you wouldn't get a piece of chocolate. All those guys, but I'm not going to jump into that conversation. Travis says, I think he can play with Partey and Xhaka start on the bench. I have a funny feeling Zinchenko plays when KT is fit. Wait, I have a funny feeling Zinchenko plays in central midfield when KT is fit. Yeah, I think that is where he's going to start. But then again, Xhaka is a manager's favorite. Like a Wenger, Emre, and that have been playing him. So I still wouldn't be surprised if you see Xhaka starting every single game for Arsenal. I really do think he's going to be here until he retires, man. Wusu says we really need more players, especially a backup striker and a wing after getting Zinchenko. By the way, Alex, hope you're doing well. I did not dismiss your comment. Just don't want to talk about that right now. We are here to talk about transfers. Emmanuel says, doing well. I'm doing great. Arsenal has sold Omari Hutchinson to our rivals. It's really painful. I don't understand that transfer unless you just wanted to go to Chelsea. I just don't know, man. Trust the process. Can you tell me something little about Tielemans? I have. Should I tell him to check his phone? David says Zinchenko can't be a starter if Tierney is fit. What about in midfield, David? I do agree. I still do agree with that. That's why the other comment that really shocked me saying from Daba saying we are talking bad about Tierney after Zinchenko came to Arsenal. No, I still believe that Tierney on his day, only Robertson can beat him, and Tierney is one of the best left backs in the world. So if you can add Zinchenko into your midfield, that's great. Yes, we will never agree on Arteta. We will. If he wins the league, right, you will agree on that, right? We need midfielders badly ×2. Which midfielders do you have in mind? But hey, thank you guys for watching. I know it's like 10, 11, 12 p.m. But we've talked about Zinchenko. According to Fabrizio Romano, Oleksandr Zinchenko to Arsenal. Here we go. We finally gotten that. Full agreement in place since Friday with Man City for 30 million guaranteed fee. Which another thing is the fee, by the way. That is a very good price for a Man City player. That City team, you cannot get anyone below 50 million. It's a big surprise if you can get someone for less than 50 million. I'm always keen on rejoining Arteta. Obviously, they worked together before. That's one thing that definitely helped him join us, or maybe agreed to join us. As per David Ornstein, medical this week. So that transfer is done. Thank you, King. Thank you. Ebo says we need another prolific striker. I think we need midfielders rather than strikers at the moment. We do need midfielders. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys very, very soon.